We see that Ben and Gwen were working together to take down a humanoid elephant man who'd said they weren't going back to the null void, as he'd stomped onto the ground, knocking them down in the process. And Ben, who is in the form of NRG, says that he really hates the earthquake stomp, as he gets up and his hands start to glow, with the ground turning red with heat underneath Trombipular's feet. Trombipular says that it's hot, and Ben says that it's molten as he stops heating the ground, showing the bipedal elephant man was now stuck in place, until Ben slammed his fist into their face, knocking them out of the ground. They tried to run, and Ben was about to blast them again, but a ship teleported into their way, as he gets annoyed with Trombipular getting away and Argent walking out of the ship saying he's got a job for Ben. Ben says he's freelance and picks his own clients. He's not interested in whatever scam Argent is up to. Argent says no scam, he legit needs Ben's help. The Forever Knights are strong-arming lots of different aliens, telling them to get off world or they'd be executed. Ben says they'd check it out, and Gwen asked if he really believes Argent. Ben says that he doesn't trust Argent in the slightest, but the Forever Knights hate aliens, and he wouldn't put it past them to try to purge the Earth of alien life. Gwen tells Argent to get his ship out of the middle of the street, and he says okay and follows them, probably just for fear of his own protection. And Ben checks the records, stating that from the 937 registered aliens on Earth legally and the couple hundred that are not so legally, 464 were accounted for, which means hundreds of aliens there either just up and left without saying anything, or they didn't leave at all. Ben says that this has gotten strange, they should go to the source to find out more. Argent questions what he means by the source, and we then cut to them all in a castle checking around, but it seems that no one had been there for a while at least. Argent tried to steal some loot, but Ben tells him to put it back. He gets annoyed and tries to take a purple robe, activating a dragon robot. The dragon guard breathed fire, which was new as the previous one hadn't done so. Ben changed into Big Chill, then thinks he may have something better, hitting the Ultimatrix symbol and changing into Ultimate Big Chill, saying time to fight fire with fire, as he takes a deep breath and the two blow fire at one another, with Ben slowly overpowering them. Ultimate Big Chill's flames then froze the inside of the dragon robot, causing it to malfunction and bust apart, as we then cut to them flying in ship, trying to figure out what's going on while Gwen was making sure Ben was alright. Argent says to forget about Ben, what about him? Ben then just gives Argent a funny look, then looked back to ship's console and gave a slight nod. The Mechamorph then opened a hatch, dropping Argent out as they continued flying. Gwen then asked Ben if he were to hunt down a whole bunch of aliens at once, where would you go? And that gave him an idea. They'd gone to a strange sort of supermarket where they got a shopping cart that was shaped like a car, and put Ship in the children's seat as he began to play with the steering wheel while they pushed it over to talk to the store owner. They greet the owner named Mr. Bauman, and he says it's nice to see the two of them again, and nice to see a new face, while patting Ship's head. He also says that he has something for Ben's grandpa Max, Arcturian spider eggs he'd been asking for on the house because Max is his best customer. Ben asks if he happens to have any Pelorotum green pepper eggs too, and Bauman says that he'd have to check, but Gwen says that they're getting off topic. Ben nods and apologizes. He then asks if he's seen any Forever Knights, but Bauman says that he can't really say that he has. But Thursdays is when the new stock comes in. Chip barked at a curtain and tried to jump down from the cart, but stopped, then began to pace back and forth. Bauman questions why he's so feisty all of a sudden, and Ben says that Chip's been trained not to jump out of a basket if he's with someone he's told he can trust. Gwen sets Chip onto the ground, letting him run over to the curtain, and he'd barked at it as Ben walked over, moving it away, telling them it's alright, holding up his plumber's badge to the alien family that was hiding there, introducing himself as Magister Ben Tennyson, calming them all down, glad to see that a plumber was there and not a knight, and the legendary Ben 10 at that. Mr. Bauman starts to explain to them that the Knights appeared 2 days ago telling him that he needed to spread the word that Earth was for the Earthlings only, and Gwen asked about his supply ship coming on Thursdays. And Bauman says that even if he closed down, he wouldn't be able to stop people from coming. To which Ben says that's good, he'd be there tomorrow to stop the Knights. But in the meantime, try to find out if he had any or could get any Pelarotum green pepper eggs, please. The Knights appeared ready to fight and were firing at them, though Ben calls for a ceasefire while Gwen had a magic barrier up around the aliens to protect them from the Knights. Ben called out ceasefire again, citing code 1482, making the Knights stop as a tank drove up, but whomever was inside took notice of their fellow Knights not attacking. The Knight in charge got out and demanded to know why they are not attacking, and Ben calls out Driscoll by name, telling them that they aren't attacking because he knows their codes of conduct and has cited code 1482, Challenge of Champion. One Knight versus one champion of the opposing faction. If the opposing faction's champion wins, the Knights are to retreat to their previous borders. Driscoll says that it makes no difference to him as he'll defeat Ben and then kill the others. Ben then hits the Ultimatrix, changing into Wrath, then hits it again, going into Ultimate Wrath, ready to fight against the Knight. The lance they had knocked Ben back and he growls as he got up, growing more angry than hurt, and charged at them again, this time avoiding the lance and slicing it with his claws, then carving through the hover bike that the Knight was on. The bike explodes and Ben mocks them, apologizing for breaking their little horsey, and Driscoll gets angry, pulling out an energy blade, to which Ultimate Wrath starts to laugh at the low-grade tech, as they were then charged at, and he dodged out of the way, punching them in the face, knocking the Knight back in the process. The leader then continued swinging his blade, trying to cut Ultimate Wrath, managing to get one in, slicing Ben's shoulder with a smirk before charging up some energy on his other hand, and punching them in the stomach, making them fall to one knee, holding their gut. They then smirked, saying that they were going to kill every alien on the planet, and every alien lover and freak as well. While gloating from the couple of lucky shots, Driscoll then says something he really shouldn't have, as he says that maybe he'd start with Ben's girlfriend before laughing, as Ultimate Wrath's normal chaotic demeanor had changed to a much more serious tone, and he'd started giving off a dangerous vibe that put a chill in the air, as he towered over the Knight in anger, asking if he'd cared to repeat that. There was a bloodlust in Ben's words. The Knight could tell that he had made a mistake when he threatened the sorceress girlfriend of Ben Tennyson, and so did not answer for fear of his own survival, as he was then grabbed and thrown into a wall so hard that it damaged his new powered armor, making them drop to the ground. Ben tells them that maybe they've forgotten something, but he's the wielder of the most powerful device in the universe. He stopped the hybrid invasion, beat Vilgax in hand-to-hand combat, and stopped the Forever Knights more times than he can count. They are going to stop hunting down aliens. They are going to crawl back into whatever hole they came from, and they are going to stay there, or they are going to regret it for the rest of their very short lives. Driscoll yields and tells the Knights to withdraw, and once they were gone, the air slowly began to return to normal as Ben's bloodlust was slowly fading away, and he changed back to human, with Gwen asking if he was alright. He then apologizes to Gwen for that, saying that he nearly lost it when they threatened her life.